Hello YouTube and welcome to the Otaku Clubhouse. So we're going to talk about the anime for summer of 2017, and I thought that it would be best for us to start with the probably most obvious one, at least as far as I know, Fate Apocrypha. So, what did you guys feel about it?
It's shit.
Okay, well, we literally just got off watching this, and I can't say that it's shit necessarily, but I can say, whoa, boy, this was an exposition-heavy episode. Of course, they start off with the in medias res. They show you a little bit of action to hook you in. They put out the bait. As soon as your mouth gets around the hook, they just reel you in, slam down exposition. Kuma knows more about this than we do, so why don't you tell us the synopsis?
So, a synopsis of the series, just to make it short, and if you're really interested, you can just look over to the side right there and see the actual written out one. But essentially, it's going to be a super Holy Grail war. It's going to be twice as many servants on both sides, and they're going to be having them fight against each other. This time around, it's less focused on an Emiya, an Emiya, and more focused on these other characters. This doesn't, from my understanding, this doesn't actually have a direct connection to, say, the other Fate series. So you can jump into this one, and you just won't catch references to older characters. But you should be able to follow along if you're not exactly ingratiated into the whole Fate Stay, Fate etc. universe, because believe me, it's a lot more detailed than you would originally think.
Nigga, it's a fucking porn game.
No, it started as a porn game, and now it's a MOBA.
Let me just bring up some points. So, Felix, you actually mentioned the animation. Here's a warning. That animation that looked good for the first episode, that was A1.
Uh-oh. Time for some fucking inconsistencies, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. So, if anybody doesn't know, yeah, it's A1. Be prepared for everything to look nice for 12 seconds, and everything after that to be, what? No, what? The anime actually starts off pretty differently from the manga. The way the manga actually starts is probably about 10 minutes into the anime, and then they cut out a lot of scenes. So, there's that, and it really downplays Go, who's actually a great, very interesting character, and unfortunately, he doesn't get nearly enough time on screen.
I don't know. It just seemed like it was just a lazy episode.
I will admit that it's just like all the other Fate series. They have a problem with first episodes, where almost all of them are like entirely exposition, and then episode 2's where anything gets really rolling.
So how do you want to? Let's go in order here.
Hang on. I want to just bring up a few more pieces. So, the rock droids from Star Wars.
Oh no! Stop! No, don't mention that. Copyright.
This time around, I'd say that this has potential to be one of the better Fate series, or one of the better Fate animes, because they changed up the formula a little different. They changed up the formula a bit. If it's anything like the manga, then they'll be giving some of the other masters more time and actually letting them be characters aside from just focusing on Emiya, which he's sort of kind of back. So anybody who doesn't like him, maybe you will this time.
Well, let's be honest.
I didn't get any of that from the first episode, honestly.
But ultimately, what I'm saying is, if you're a fan of the Fate series, then you'll probably like it.
Kaiser, did you like it?
Hell no. It was a fucking boring ass fucking, we're gonna show you a little action sequence, but then we're just gonna sit here and fucking ramble about fucking bullshit for 20 minutes. Fuck off. The only reason people are watching is because of the name. If it was any other anime who fucking did this, they fucking trash, garbage. All niggas will fucking lap that bullshit up.
let's do like we did with the spring anime impressions, and either do you give this a pass, as in you want to stop watching it, do you want to keep watching it, or you have a mixed review? So I'll say I give it a mixed review. Like, I don't mind if we keep watching it. I don't mind to continue learning more about it. The first episode did not give me very strong first impressions. What about you, Hajimete?
Hard pass. That was fucking lame. Fate hasn't been good since Unlimited Blade Works. Phase Zero was trash. Fuck off.
I can't say my opinions because I'm biased. I'm very biased.
You give it. You want to keep watching.
I will keep watching because I'm a fucking huge mark. But
all right. Moving on to the next one.
Alright, so we're moving on to the next one, and the next anime is Kakeguri. So let's get some fresh takes.
Which one is Kakeguri?
We literally just watched it.
The gambling anime with the big ass
bitch with the fucking titties. Yo, that show was good.
Sharingan and the facial expressions.
So if you couldn't tell, both Felix and Hawkwing enjoyed themselves.
Yeah, that show.
I thought it was interesting. I'll say, like, even if there wasn't like titty, if there wasn't sex scenes, sexy, appealing bodies in this.
Sexy, appealing bodies, they just be fucking kaiji.
Going out of
it would be kaiji,
control.
but I like kaiji. So
that was I want to say that number one, the animation's good. Animation's good. The art style, whoever is doing that obviously has a very strong fetish for fucking eyes and lips. Holy hell.
Of Tanya the Evil.
It is, no, even more so. This is probably the most gifable anime. This is going to be the most gifable anime of the year.
Definitely.
It's a pretty the explanation and stuff for it is it's ultimately kind of generic because it's just a gambler anime. The MC for it is fucking the most milquetoast nobody ever.
It's super plain and like he's just like that typical.
I think there's probably like a depth of madness to him that has yet to been unlocked. What's his name? Like, we had trouble remembering his name while watching the anime. I think it's Zasui?
Satoshi or something.
Suzui. I had to write it down.
And
I actually had to write it down.
As for the main heroine, her name is very memorable because it's like Jabami.
Damn, I forgot that too.
Speaking of the main heroine, they definitely enjoy drawing her. That ending.
And the ending, not only is the song fire, the song is it's an earworm, and then the animation that plays is just her walking and her titties bouncing and her ass bouncing and her skirt slowly floating up from the wind and then like her clothing coming out. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it just for the ending. The opening is okay too.
The opening is pretty. I'll definitely say it's one of those series that it can't. Since it's not an action anime, it has to make interesting opening and ending themes, or interesting opening and ending animations, which I always appreciate that. But man, that opening theme is something too. It's definitely something to see. Let's see. Milquetoast main character, lots of ass and titties in this.
Copious amounts of fucking titties, my nigga.
There's also some strength. There's also some oddly. It's also strongly detailed in terms of animation when it comes to them. When it came to them all using those little cards and they had them drawn out, they were all drawn differently.
Yeah,
like all the hands and stuff. Yeah, it was all. It seems like there's a lot of love being put into this, which can't wait to get disappointed with the next few animes because we're probably watching all the best ones first.
I wouldn't say that because
you don't know what I know. is coming next.
But I just want to say, if you like kaiji, you're gonna like this probably.
If you like kaiji and like rubbing yourself, then you're gonna enjoy this.
Like a heroine that looks like Hell-Girl. Hint, hint. You're gonna like this.
I like cities, so I like this.
All right.
Pass. Keep watching or mix. I know.
Watching at nighttime.
This is definitely a very positive review.
I'll definitely keep watching it. So, let's move on to the next one. Alright, so we just finished Aho-Girl, and... well, anything?
Well,
I mean, I'm a juvenile person, man. I like this fucking poop jokes and fucking poop on the sidewalk. That show is dumb, but it is funny.
Pretty lowbrow humor, but I'm not gonna lie. Like the beginning of this episode, it's a short episode, like 13 minutes. The beginning, I was like, this is unfunny. I'm gonna drop this hard, and then they just started rolling, and it just kept getting funnier. This is a pretty good comedy, guys.
I want to say, I think the idea of making it 12 minutes about? I think that's actually a smart idea, because I don't think that going half hour just watching those.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Just look at last season with Renai Boken. That was entirely too long for the joke.
Well, then again, that was also about a Death Note joke from about 7 years ago. But let's not talk about that. Let's jump back into Aho-Girl. So it's a really weird thing, but it kind of subverts a lot of tropes where the girl is the one going in and she's getting slapped away.
Right. Yeah. Well, our main character is the titular Aho-Girl herself. Yoshiko. Yoshiko, she is retarded, first of all, like legitimately we think that she might actually have a mental deficiency, and they're playing it up for laughs.
She just likes bananas and is a little challenged.
Quite a bit challenged.
Then her best friend, her childhood friend, being Akun, and the A in his name must stand for asshole, because this dude is a savage.
But he's also a savage with, like, no friends.
No friend. The nigga got 3 contacts. 2 of them being his parents, yo.
No, one of them being his own home phone, and the other being Yoshiko and Yoshiko's phone.
And then the supporting characters, they have their own gags. Like, you have the little shy girl who doesn't see any worth in herself. I don't know, she's funny by herself, but as a foil to the other characters, it's pretty okay. And then the disciplinary girl, there's always this trope, right? Like the straight and narrow girl who's actually got indecent thoughts. But you know,
yeah, that definitely comes up a lot. It's gonna be a recurrent theme this season. Just warning you ahead of time. But pretty basic art style and pretty basic animation though. Nothing looked bad.
Yeah, nothing was like super off model or anything.
Except for that incredible suplex.
Supposed to be. Yeah, that suplex was crisp as fuck.
That suplex was the apex of the first episode. So how are we rating this one?
I'll watch more of it as long as it keeps being funny.
It seems I know a little bit about it, so I'd say the quality seems pretty decent so far, and I'm hoping it stays at least decent. Again, 12 episodes, perfect amount. So I'm saying I'd definitely keep watching it.
At the start of it, like at the very beginning, I was at a hard pass, but then my opinion just completely 180. So let's keep watching more of it.
All right.
Let's move on.
Now on to Ballroom A Youkoso, or Welcome to the Ballroom. So let's get it out of the fucking way. Whoo doggy, those are some necks, ain't they?
No,
Copy
everybody's neck is like 2 feet long. Scary.
The anatomy, like you said while we were watching it, the anatomy is fucking weird. God.
It reminds me of like fucking, was it like triple X Holic?
The first, yeah, it's like that. But the first look of the main character in this,
I was spooked, yo. His eyes were like...
his eyes were dead, his neck was long, he looked emaciated. Like,
just you expect him to have a distended belly from all the worms.
so as if that's not as upsetting, it's he's pretty milk toast, because I know you hate me saying that word.
I do.
He's a pretty milk toast MC.
Would you describe Ippo from Hajime no Ippo as milk toast?
I'd say he's milk toast most of the time.
God.
Anyway,
it's reminded me of it. The main character was getting bullied by some jerks, and then got saved by this guy, and then it turns out that this guy is really good at something, be it boxing or in this case dancing. The main character then decides that he wants to be the same occupation. Obviously he wants to be a dancer, and it turns out that he has a natural gift for it.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's not even that he really has a natural gift. It's the fact that he was able to do basic things, but it's the fact that he ran it into the ground. He's one of those main characters who seems to be pretty dense. A dense main character.
Not dense. He just followed what he was told to do.
We already mentioned it, but the characters all look pretty weird. Shizuku, who seems to be the main heroine, or at least that's what we're thinking right now, is probably the most normal looking with the exception of her face.
Her face is weird.
Like
and Sengoku.
Sengoku.
Whenever somebody dances, their neck fucking dislocates.
Yeah,
their body
creepy as fuck.
Slinging around.
And
Sengoku being a mentor character, he looks pretty normal. He kind of looks like Onizuka, but his head is too small.
It's really just the perspective. The perspective in that anime is absolutely atrocious. People are looking like their heads are like 12 miles away while their shoulders are like right in your face.
For the longest time, I thought that Shizuku was the same height as the main character, but she's not. She's like a head, or she's like a neck shorter than him.
Yeah, and a neck, huh? But it's at least a somewhat fresh premise, even though it's a little similar to something else that happened.
You can't. It's not a fresh premise. Let's be honest. It's kind of like somebody hopped on a train of Yuri on Ice, but they're like, okay, let's do it with dancing.
Let's do it with dancing.
Make it not gay.
Yes, and yes,
let's
actually.
make it hetero.
So it had a pretty decent OST, though. I can say that much. But then again, if it didn't, that'd be pretty bad.
Yeah.
And good opening. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys want to say?
I said I'm half seas on this one. I could give it another episode or two.
I'll watch I could watch another episode. I could definitely watch another episode. All right. Let's keep moving on. Alright, so we just finished Made in Abyss. Felix, Hawkeyes are the final brave. Give me your hot takes.
I mean, nothing really happened. Like, it had good backgrounds, but like it was just kind of boring.
I agree, and not for the same reason that like I found Fate Apocrypha boring. I thought because things were happening, right? The main heroine, you were introduced to, the abyss. We don't know it yet, but she's going through it, mining for relics or whatever. Then there's this big monster, big CG monster, whatever. She gets distracted by it, looks like she's gonna be eaten by it. And she's saved by, I guess, the other main character is gonna be this robot boy named Reg, which they pronounce it Legu or whatever, because it's all Japanese. But he is his design, first of all, is at least much to be desired. He's just like fucking mixed bionic commando with a Nino Kuni kid, and that's what you get. I don't know. And like the character design is really weird for the kids, because like they're all kids for some reason, except for the two adults. They're all little kids, and their fucking heads are like mounds of squish, and their fucking eyes are too far apart.
Well, I mean, the whole reason that they're all kids is because it's an orphanage. They
Yeah,
mention the fact that most of their parents are actually either down in the abyss or are dead. They died in the abyss. So that's probably the whole reason. Since they're on like some kind of secluded island, it seems like they're just sending the kids into the abyss to bring up the treasures or whatever they're called for money. But I fucking loved it. Like I absolutely loved that first episode.
You loved it?
Yeah, I thought that first episode was great.
Dang.
Like the art, the backgrounds were beautiful, the music was good, the animation was great. I'm already interested in like finding out more about this world. I'm interested in the premise. Everything seems like it could go somewhere. I'm really interested. I really, really liked it. Like just off of the first episode alone, I'm extremely interested. Rico seems pretty good. Legu, whatever. I agree, his character design's a little weird, but I mean, I'm interested to see where this like little cyborg kid came from. And like I said, the music is good. The opening is some type of very strange English.
Well, there wasn't like we didn't never see the actual like OP graphics. We just heard a song, which I'm assuming is the OP, and yeah, it's like English. But
the ending, I liked it. I don't really have too much to say bad about it. It's a very I do agree the art style's odd. It looks like Felix mentioned. It does look kind of like Nino Kuni in a way, where everybody has like these really doughy cheeks, but it does nothing stands out like terrible about it at all. I think it's probably the best first episode of the season.
Really? Nigga, okay. Let me compress myself. So, pass, keep watching, or mixed feelings?
Man, I don't like it. I think it's like a lame show, but if Kuma wants to keep watching, I'll keep watching it since he seems to really like it.
I'd definitely keep watching it, obviously.
I'm on a mixed feeling for this. I'm willing to give it another episode and try to change my mind, but yeah, let's go on.
Alright, on to the next one. Alright, so we just finished watching Knights of Magic. What do you guys think?
It's pretty nice, actually.
It's a show with a decent concept. I like it.
You only like it because it got robots in it.
Well, not really. It's kind of interesting. It's not like, I don't think it's going to be like animated season or anything, but it's a pretty interesting show, and I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
Because it has mechas in it.
That's one thing, but it's an isekai that has mechas in it, so.
It's an isekai.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what. See, I don't know if you guys get this by now, but I'm kind of burned out on the whole isekai concept. Like, you can't. I know we're gonna talk about one later, and I'm not looking forward to that one either. But I think you can only go so far.
There's a very interesting and
Shut
written. Okay, all right. Let's hit the bullet points. All right. Man, that main character looks like a girl. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Looks like a girl, sounds like a girl. Even though the characters in the setting thinks that he look like a girl.
And maybe that's like maybe that was like the author's main thing is like, oh well, I just want to make him look a little different. I want people to think differently of him. But it's like, could have done something else. You didn't have to make him essentially look like what I don't even know, like a small girl with white hair. It's like,
just give him a haircut
or something else. I don't know. But he's the main
it
character.
Wouldn't be so bad.
The main
if
character's pretty
didn't...
good, though. At least.
Yeah, well, his personality is interesting. Like, oh my god. In that part where he's like, oh, this magical rod is kind of outdated. I just said, like, oh, what is he going to do? He's going to put it on a gun? And then the next second, oh man, that was...
He literally says, let me just call it a gun-like rod. So
I screamed.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with the anime, just the animation. The animation so far is the fact that there's a weird blur on like the entire anime, and it's very slight but very noticeable.
Well, one thing that I don't like about it is that the mechas are 3D CG.
CG?
I mean,
the monsters are CG?
No, the monsters aren't CG.
Some of them are, though. Those insects were...
Some of them, yeah. But, I mean, the CG at least was decent. The first fight in it was really good, which clearly they blew the budget all on that. But it's done, if I'm remembering right, by Silverlink, and they're very consistent with animation, so hopefully it'll stay good. Never know.
Yeah.
Main character's name is Ernesti, which
is girly, but they nickname him Ernie, which is way more
masculine
acceptable
and believable. It's a pretty exposition-heavy first episode, but it kind of needs to be, because they were explaining what the world was.
Well, yeah, but there was some unnecessary points where he's like, you see him meet with these two people, and then they're like, and that's when he met with his lifelong friends. Like, really?
Yeah.
Are we stupid?
Yeah, especially when they were like, oh, who are you? It's like, and that's when they met for the first time. It was like, But let's see, what else? I actually like the aesthetic design of everything in the world. Like the weapons. I've always had a huge thing for magical glyphs and whatnot, and I like the design of the mechs. I know.
Can I just go out on a limb and say that the school uniforms in this are fucking awful?
Still better than the other one.
Akashic Records?
Yeah,
no.
Yes.
Nah,
I would rather all the girls look like
Akashic Records
whores.
was just like body central.
I would rather all the girls look like thoughts, and at least the male students look normal. In this one, everybody looks like a dork.
Well, no, not anymore. At least from like the pet. Those were all like the little kids. Those were all like when they were like little kids.
Yeah. But now, like, the main Ernesti is literally dressing like a girl. He sounds like a girl.
He can't
looks
help
like
it.
a
He's
girl.
like Nagisa. Also, last point to hit. It is a generic OST. Whew. If I was listening to some of that music in there, and it was just like blinky blonky blonky blinky.
I didn't even realize there was music.
Also, it has to be red.
Of course, dude. Of course.
So there's a character in there. He has a red mech. It's probably going to be the rival character because it has to be red.
It's either gonna be the rival or like the jobber rival, like Jared.
My nigga Jared. Alright, so pass, keep watching, or mixed feelings?
I'm gonna give it a keep watching.
Same here.
Agreed.
Wow, I think that was the first one we actually all said we agreed upon.
Unanimous, yeah. Well, Aho-Girl was also there.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck, I just realized I haven't given a single bad one yet. So we just finished watching Restaurant to Another World. You guys, anything?
Man,
It was a very
like, a relaxing and chill anime, and it seemed
comfy. It was a very comfy anime.
We're done here.
What? Do you have a problem with it being
Stop it.
Comfy?
Die, both of you.
So, here's a plus. The main character is actually a man. Not a boy. A man. An adult man. Who we didn't learn his name. Maybe they said it somewhere throughout the episode, but we sure as hell didn't see it.
No, they did not. They didn't. We don't know his name. They only referred to him as Master, which, no.
Yeah, I mean he's the master of the restaurant, so I guess it makes some
but
sense.
But is he? Question mark. Clickbait fucking title.
Well, there was very little shown about him. It looks like they did a little bit of clever storytelling by showing the fact that he might have inherited this place from his father, because they showed an image of him standing next to an older man in a picture that he kept up. So it seems like he inherited that place.
So don't be discouraged by the name. You might see it and just say, another fucking Esekai, but
not everyone's
it's actually everyone is me. Everybody is. Let me not get distracted. It's actually his restaurant, which is opening doors to other worlds, or maybe another world, singular. It's not clear if they're connected or not. And it seems like the tone of this series is just going to be... What was the name of that Netflix show, Kaiser?
Midnight Tokyo Diner, I believe.
Yeah. It seems like it's going to be the anime version of that, where he just serves people good-looking food, and they just give him their stories. And he's got a little cute girl assistant, and he's got the fucking Ora fucking mega cake dragon girl.
It's not Ora, you fucking retard. It's Ara. God damn.
It's also it's also a food porn show in the vein of Food Wars. So get ready for a lot of very sparkly looking food.
Although, if you are watching this weekly and you're not watching the DVD later on down the line, it's very censored. You can tell because like the girls don't have asses. They don't have ass cracks, and there's like fog coming from nowhere that conveniently covers their parts. But
Do you hate
whatever.
Fog-kun? Anyway.
I hate Light-kun from Prison School.
Also, there was a fucking exposition out of Randy Orton's mouth for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Just out of nowhere, they just started talking about Arlette's, because I think they actually said her name. Arlette's passed. So
right, and I thought that was kind of clumsy, because they could have just like told it in a linear fashion, but they did 2 flashbacks instead in rapid succession. So whatever. But if they don't continue to like frame their story that way, I think we'll be fine. So
the
pass, miss feelings,
hang on.
or
I still got a few more things.
all right.
Oh boy.
The art is very strong. Just the art style. It's very vibrant, very strong art, and it's a very relaxing art style.
I agree with the art style is nice. The animation serves its purpose. It's not like outstanding or anything.
Yeah, it's fine. Completely acceptable. There's nothing too extraordinary that they need to show, so they're not going over the top, but everything that's animated it looks fine. Nothing stands out as bad. All in all,
the OST, from what we heard, is nice too.
Yeah, it seems like a very nice anime. It's definitely not for everybody. So
it's for me. I like it.
So, okay, then you're saying a pass, Hawkeiser?
I'm giving it a pass, yeah.
I mean,
no, not a pass.
We're giving it a keep watching.
Keep watch. Me too.
Well, actually, I'm gonna give it a middle. Yeah, mixed.
Contrarian.
Well, I can see where he's coming from, because it could easily become... It could go from being comfy to boring, which is the trap of a lot of quote-unquote comfy shows. No, I can't. Either it goes from that, or it goes in the extreme opposite direction, like Kumamiko. But let's move on.
And that was a great anime, wasn't it?
I wish I know I lost some baby memories from watching that episode. There's something like I'm not gonna remember like what my first fucking So name what we're talking about.
So we just finished watching Isekai wa Smartphone Tomo ni, or in other words, in another world with my smartphone.
Can I shoot my?
No. So, all right, let's start at the beginning. All right. So
The very beginning.
the main character, who is named Toya Mochizuki, died at 15, and when he went to heaven, or the afterlife more specifically, God was sitting there and he was like, yo dude, you're pretty cool, I'm gonna let you live in another world and retain all your memories and be born as a totally normal person with extra strength and a cell phone. And
Pause here, because actually, you know how in other isekai anime, they at least have the courtesy of showing you how that person died or like what kind of person they were before. This one, no, you just go straight to, oh, you're dead, kid. Okay.
Okay, hang on though. But straight up though. So in this first few seconds, while Toya is walking around, not even like in a fucking few seconds, because also God was like, yo bro, don't worry about it, I'll pay for your data bill. So he's walking around using his phone, again, his smartphone, that he specifically was like, yo God, can I have the ability to still use my phone? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll also give you super strength and stuff. By the way,
fucking every ability, you can use every magic. I'm skipping ahead. Go.
So he runs into some guy, and the guy's like, "Oh man, I'll buy your clothes for tons of money." And he's like, "Okay, here." And so he sold all of his clothes to this guy, then bought some other clothes, so he literally loses nothing. And then he's walking through the town, blah blah blah, and he's like, "Oh hey, look, there are these two random women here. Let me save them because I'm a guy, and that's what we do, regardless of how strong or physically powerful we are." So he rescues these two girls, these two twins, who one seems to be really strong, and the other one seems to be a bit demure, and, you know, they're kind of twinish and twins, and, you know, twins in an isekai, and... Don't spoil
it's just
it, man.
budget rimming around.
This is isekai to isekai. Let's not fucking walk on any eggshells anymore.
Toya is not like any isekai main character in the last couple of years. That is unarguable. No, it's unarguable. It's unarguable. Okay, let's compare him to Subaru. Is he anything like Subaru? Was Subaru super strong? Did Subaru have every single woman fawning over his dick immediately?
No.
What about Kazuma? Was Kazuma really strong and able to make ice cream on his first attempt in another world?
No, but...
Exactly. Was Kirito as cool as Toya, immediately being able to do everything immediately on his first try? Oh, wait, he was.
He was. So, when we were watching the opening for this, which by the way, it's still fucking generic. Even the name of the opening is called Another World. Oh,
and let's not also forget where the animation in the opening sequence was bad.
It was
somehow.
bad. And then, so when he put on the white jacket, I'm like, oh, that's Kirito. And these niggas, they instantly... You're right.
So hang on, so we're not done yet. So aside from everything being totally convenient, Mr. Toya decides, oh, you know, let me just talk with these girls. We need to go on some missions together. So what do? They get him a weapon. What does he get? A katana. And what are they fighting?
Wolves with fucking...
wolves with horns. Sounds familiar.
Big, glowing-eyed wolves with horns, and he's fighting them with these twins, and he's using this sword that, well, let's be honest, he's really good with the sword, and they show off the beautiful 2 frames of animation. Him draw the sword, him slash the monster, and it dead.
They never explain why he knows how to use a katana. Who cares?
Well, what does it matter? It doesn't matter it doesn't fucking matter. Because it doesn't matter what he did in his previous world. It doesn't matter. Shut up. No, shut the fuck up. Shh. So the twins the twins who are just literally Rem and Ram, who I'm not even gonna bother to learn their names. Anyway.
Worse designs, way worse designs.
What you hate dress pants or skirt pants?
Skirt pants. It's not like the skirts with the shorts underneath it. It's fucking shorts that are a skirt. It's bad.
So it also had probably the most eye catches I've ever seen in an anime.
Oh, you said there were just lazy ways to save on fucking animation time.
I'm absolutely sure that the eye catches were 100% ways of just saving on animation. I don't even remember. I didn't even write down anything about the opening and ending themes. I completely.
They were generic.
I didn't even put thought. Oh no, I have one thing to say. Man, ending themes sure are giving another character a little more of a rub than another character, huh? So
don't worry about it.
It's a tad unfair.
Don't worry about it. It's a harem anyways. All of his fucking companions are girls.
Every single female just comes up to the guy and he instantly woos them. This is the most self-insert character. Like, people say, oh, Kirito's just a self-insert. No.
Oh, you forgot something else. There was, like, magic in this world, and, like, there's a magic test, which, this is very standard fantasy stuff, right? And they're like, oh, just touch these gems, and we'll be able to tell your aptitude with various elements. Well, he just happens to be super good at all of them.
All of them.
Every single one.
Immediately upon first try. Okay.
I mean, like...
No.
If you want to describe how much more of a Mary Sue this character is, this nigga got God as a contact on his phone.
On his cell phone, his smartphone, which, by the way, he only uses maybe twice in the anime,
he does
and he uses it about 3 times in anime. Once to just browse the web while he's sitting in his room in the middle of the night. Another time as a compass, which works somehow in that world instead of just using a map with God's powers, but whatever. And then the third time was to look up how to make ice cream on the internet.
How to make ice cream, and he actually put it out, and they're like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Don't question it," and they don't.
And they were made perfectly too. I've never seen ice cream made that perfect in my entire life.
With no modern tool. Fuck this anime. I'm giving it a fucking pass. And if you see this anime, kill yourself first instead of watching it.
I think that it's an anime that's just made to just appeal to just the lowest common denominator. Like, you're just sitting there, potato chip bag in one hand, looking at eyes half closed, your mouth is agape,
Like, Hakaiser made a good point.
Cool.
What did you say? It was completely bankrupt?
It was morally, financially, and creatively bankrupt. Like, goddamn.
So I'm guessing that's a no from you, Hawkeiser?
Of course.
I want to see how low the rabbit hole goes, guys.
Well,
Akuma says pass on this. Don't listen to him. He's gone mad.
I want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Let's go to the next fucking anime.
Quotations anime.
Nanamaru Sanbatsu. So, let's hear what you guys felt about that.
I literally fell asleep during this boring-ass anime. Like, I watched the first 5 minutes and was knocked out and woke back up for the last 4 minutes. And it just felt like it was the same thing. Like, it was instant turn off. I was not interested. It just looked like another wacky, wowie zowie, boring premise show that they try to pass off as something that's exciting.
So
utter garbage.
So of course you can look over and see what the description is, but let me just give you my hot take. It's Jeopardy the anime.
Yeah.
It's just like almost literally Jeopardy the anime. It's all about. It's an anime about like quizzes and stuff.
Quiz Bowl. I think the translation is like Quiz Bowl the fastest finger. which is a really horrible name. So.
Well, no, that's just gonna be what the English title is for it. The actual title, if my Japanese is up to snuff, it translates to 703 punishment.
Yeah, and that's in the ending sequence too, where they have like, I don't know if that's supposed to be the creator or whatever, but he gives you trivia at the end, which is pretty interesting, I guess, if you're into that thing. When I was watching this show, I was just like, yeah, this must be a show aimed at like kids, educational anime, because like, I don't think it was aimed towards teens either, because otherwise they wouldn't have like. There's a crass panty shot in this, but you don't actually see anything. You just see the main character, whose name escapes me.
Koshiyama.
Yeah, Koshiyama. And the main heroine trips over him in the library because he's eating food like an ass.
In the fucking library. Come on, dude.
He looks and sees. It's implied that he sees up her skirt, and then instead of showing what he's looking at, they just have like striped. They show the Shimapan pattern in the background.
Quick side note about that. For anybody who doesn't know, if you see in an anime a girl has striped underwear, that means that she's tsundere. That's because she can't decide what's her favorite color, so she wears them both.
Although for her, I wouldn't really say that she's like tsundere from what they have. She's more like a dork. And I'm not saying that to be crass or anything, to be rude, but it's just like, I mean, first of all, she sounds like a fucking dork. Then that's no detriment to her, to her seiyuu or anything. I think it's a unique voice, actually. I think it's wasted in this anime, really.
Well, I wouldn't say wasted, because I don't think the anime is bad. It is not.
I don't think it's bad
We are not
either.
its target demographic, even in the slightest.
Not at all. It's just like...
I mean, I just don't know who it's supposed to be marketed to, because
kids.
School
kids.
Maybe, yeah, because it's like, I was watching it. It's not badly animated. It's not as bad as the last thing we watched.
No.
But it's like, it's so focused around such a... I think it's actually a pretty unique premise. I mean, how many other times have you seen animes based all around quizzes?
And well, like I thought, I was like, I was answering the questions when they were brought up. I was like, oh yeah, I'd be godlike at this. But then they do some fucking JoJo bullshit. You gotta pull Joestar and predict what the fucking proctor is gonna say before you say it.
Your next question is gonna be, who is the current president of the United States? Trap-kun.
And I was just wondering, how could you possibly escalate this? But whatever. I thought it looked nice. There was something weird with the opening where it's like one of these characters is like blurred out or blacked out, but you can still see what they look like. So what the fuck? Are you trying to keep it a secret, bro? Like,
yeah, maybe it's like it's based off of, maybe this is actually based off of like an anime from before, and this is like the second season or the second series, and we just don't know about it.
That would be weird, but not unheard of.
Alright, so what are you guys saying?
I'm saying that's a hard pass.
It's pass because it's not for me, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say pass too. Not because it's bad in any way. It's just we are not its target demographic, even in the slightest.
So
yeah, let's keep moving on. Yeah.
And now we got to the degenerate part of the list.
So, we just got done watching what everyone can guess here from what Felix just said. And yes, I did start the recording without you being prepared. I wanted the hottest take off of this. So, say something.
Well, that's all I can really say about the series. Nothing happens. like it's a fucking what's it called? Like a musical show that couldn't be carried on its own merits, you know. So if I throw in a bunch of lollies, try to entice degenerates.
I want to point out the fact that I said, and fuck you, I'm saying it. I want to point out the fact that I said that you two wouldn't be able to handle watching this, and said I would watch it by myself and make a review by myself because that's fucking the most otaku bait shit. But nobody wanted to listen to me.
Otaku bait? This is... No, you can't say that. That's disrespecting otakus. This is... Like, this isn't for a music otaku. No, fuck that. Definitely not. They didn't go into anything that's like, oh, you gotta know music to know this. No, this is for lolicons, and you know it's for lolicons. That's why you should know this is for lolicons.
No. The show
is
definitely...
a lolicon show.
Well, I will not say that it's not.
You know how I said
I will say,
last time...
I will say that I disagree. It did have some very specific things about music in there.
I mean, it's not getting that deep, like that one episode of Akiba Strip where they went on all this audio file shit, right? This is surface level.
No, what? He was editing audio files. And by the way, the main character's name is Kyo.
Kyo. Is that a pun for something? It must have something.
I'm not sure. I have to look that up. I'm not sure what the word Kyo actually translates to. If his name was something else, I'd probably be able to pick it up. Anyway, I want to talk about the actual anime before we continue shit posting.
I think Kyo is like for school, or it's one of the words you can use for school. No. So his last name must be like...
No, you're thinking of Gakko.
Wow. Oh, that's classroom. Whatever, enough Japanese lessons. Get back to it.
So, I want to say I think the anime is smarter than we're giving it credit for. I'm being serious. I think the anime is a lot smarter than people will give it credit for. It seems to have a lot of things in there, like the fact that, and you guys might not agree with it, the fact that it showed that Kyo is actually somewhat like has OCD, where
You're just referring to a single scene, aren't you?
It's a very deliberate shot.
Yeah, I like the deliberate shot of the one girl superman up on the altar in the church, and you see the wings framed behind it.
Do you have a problem with Zack Snyder's vision, my friend? Just because Superman floats out in a T shape doesn't mean that he is saying that Superman is Jesus, but he's saying that Superman is Jesus.
I will agree with you with the deliberateness of that shot, but I disagree with you that it implies that he has OCD or anything, because as you can see, he had a whole bunch of those framed, those special envelopes, and I think what it symbolizes is that, even though he doesn't read them, he still treats them with care because whoever sends them to him, he cares about. But who cares? I'm not gonna watch this anime. You know how I said in the spring 2017 anime impression video about some series were just like, this is for a Japanese salaryman to just watch so he doesn't get depressed and kill himself. This show is for shut-in lolicon degenerates to watch so they can be happy. And they know exactly what they're doing. Exactly. Going back to the deliberate shots points, all those shots where you see Kyo's face through the legs of a loli skirt. Is there anything else we can say about, really, Kaiser's not even talking because his brain's been shut off by the winds of madness?
I've got nothing to say. I got one thing to say. I'm not saying that I'm going to give it a hard pass.
I know you're not. I know you are not.
I'm going to give it a mixed review, mostly because I don't want to go to jail. But secondly, I think the show's actually not bad. Just don't want to go to jail.
The crazy thing is, I thought that I actually think you could have pulled off this premise without being this fucking cheesy. But I give this a pass. Kaiser is dead. What score do you give it out of curiosity, Huggheiser?
He's literally dead.
He's died. He's fucking died. He hard passed on this shit 2 minutes in.
Let's just make sure to revive him for the next one. Don't worry, Hawkeyes will be back to life for the next one, I promise. Well, what'd you guys think? It'll say it on it'll say it over there, but
I want you to tell us what we just watched.
Okay, we just got done watching Netsozou TRap.
And if you're wondering why the R in trap is capitalized, no, it's not a typo. It's meant to be shortened to NTR because, oh boy, those Japs are clever people. That's offensive.
Yeah, I'm glad it's offensive because fucking bankrupt motherfuckers. Alright, first of all, you already know the niggas who are watching this. These niggas one-handing this motherfucker with the computer, the fucking mouse in their other hand. Oh yeah, these little middle school girls. Oh yeah, kissing each other, eating pussy in the bathroom. Oh yeah.
And then their boyfriends don't know anything about it.
Sitting there, oh no, my girlfriend is so pure. Oh, fucking morons. And it's like a 7-minute anime, just long enough for you to get your fucking lotion tissues. Get the fuck out of here.
It reminds me of that one story arc in fucking Scum's Wish, except somebody watched that and they're like, oh, with their pants down, they're like, oh, we can make a whole anime about that. And somebody fucking funded them. Can you tell how we feel about this show?
And of course, somebody here will fucking tantrum because they didn't want to watch the whole thing because it had some sort of high art entertainment value.
Now allow me to actually explain what was truly great about this anime. Since these two clearly didn't understand, allow me to break it down. So, from the very first shot of the anime, it's clearly shown that the characters, without directly explaining it to the people who are watching the anime, because it's shown with a very great scene composition, that the main heroine and her friend Hotaru are, despite the fact that these two are dating the boys, because again, it's shown without being directly explained to you. It clearly thinks
Hotaru's hand was halfway up the other girl's pussy, dude.
No, shut up.
No, hold on. No, I don't want this section to be longer than the actual anime. Do you give this a pass? Do you give it a middle review, or do you give it
based on the clear high art value of this anime? I am giving it a definite continue watching.
Yeah, I bet you would, nigga. I can already tell that your pants are fucking long left your fucking ankles, nigga.
Joke's on you. I don't even have pants on.
Fucking degenerates.
Katsugeki, Touken, Ranbu. Alright, we just finished that. You guys, go ahead.
Is this gonna turn into one of those gay ass shows?
Whoa! You're jumping 2 pages ahead here on the script.
Yes, on our script. Let's see. According to the script, let's see. Now, Hawkeyser says something about samurai swords.
So, there's no surprise that this anime looks really good.
It's
UFO Table.
Exactly, UFO Table. If you let UFO Table do any anime with swords and pretty boys, it's gonna look good. big surprise.
At first, I didn't know what the concept of this anime was until like halfway into the episode, when I'm like, oh, they're time traveling. They're time travelers, and they're in feudal Japan, and they're fighting time traveling yokai or something, whatever.
So basically, it's a combination of Time Squad, Inuyasha, and
Stop it.
No, it's not. It's not like that at all. But
yeah, you're right. There are way more women in Inuyasha.
oh,
It's under that weird space where it's like, okay, so let's jump back a little bit. So
right.
the main characters in this appear to be, don't ask me what their names are, I forgot, but the main characters in this are this one samurai guy with really long hair, and he has a braid in one of his hair, so it's like obviously he's
And one of his hairs, huh?
one part of his hair anyway.
There you
He's
go.
very clearly Fujoshi bait. And then there is the younger Kohei character, who is very much one of those, like, again, Fujoshi bait characters.
who I thought was the protagonist, but I'm not so sure now.
Yeah, after watching the opening, you definitely wouldn't think that. But they continue to add more characters into it. They have I'm guessing he's going to be the hot-blooded, big weapon-wielding, muscly guy with fuchsia hair, for whatever reason. Then they have the other character who has a pistol and a wakizashi, it appears, and he is the rival character, and of course his shirt's like split wide open, and he's like, oh, check out my six-pack. Then they have the most, what's the term I'm looking for, fuckboyish leader, who looks like a cross between Kenshin from Sengoku Basara and Killua from Hunter x Hunter.
I mean, no, that one
Just 'cause
guy
he has
who
white
had, like,
hair doesn't mean he looks like Kahlua. Come on now.
well, he kind of does, but he's not the most fuckboyish. The most fuckboyish was like this dude wearing short shorts, and he
Oh,
was
I
the-
forgot about that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, he was only like 2 seconds.
But
he didn't
he
even
had-
get a voice line.
No, he did.
Well,
he
yes,
did. But his voice did not. Well, but his voice didn't sound correct. Like he had a deeper voice than either the Kenshin lookalike or the main character's best little buddy. So
Right. And at first, like the sheer amount of characters that showed up in the last third of this episode kind of confused me, because at first I thought it was just gonna be the kid who I thought was the protagonist, the older guy who would be like the mentor character, and the Mataratsu puppy, alien, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be. But yeah, they just dump all these characters on you. And I mean, it's okay. I think it's okay. I think this whole show, this episode was okay, and they're leading to something. I'm not sure what.
I'll be perfectly honest. I completely disagree. That first episode, it looked nice. Don't get me wrong. I've never, like, I watched that episode and I was just like, I don't care. And it might, to be fair, it might be the fact that I'm falling out of the love of ancient Japan. I'm falling, like, very hardly out of love of feudal Japan.
Oh, but you'll watch every show that takes place in modern Japan. Okay.
It's just I've watched so many things, and I was enamored with ancient Japan years ago and stuff like that. But it's like the setting of ancient Japan is always dirt roads. The houses always look like the exact same houses, and it's just
Always run on top of the building so you can get a nice cross section of the town.
yeah. And then occasionally you'll get yokai, and all the yokai are based around Japanese mythology. And the thing is, it's like they're always so stringent with the idea of it being specifically looking like this, because it has to still immediately be recognized by the Japanese as this ancient thing. And it's just like the only time in recent memory that I can really think that, oh, this is this is nice was actually maybe... I kind of like Neo's designs.
Yeah, wow.
Neo has pretty decent art direction, so...
Yeah, and it's like, that's just it offhand.
Oh yeah, and one more thing before we go through like what we thought of it, like our final reveal of it. Time paradox. First of all, if you have a series involved where people go into the past and then they're like, oh, don't change anything, we don't want to change the past, you're already, by nature of being there, changing the fucking past, so don't even pretend to care about the fucking rules, especially when you're fighting the monsters that appear out of the sky. Time has already changed. They had this little plot point where it's like, oh, don't go, the city was destined to fucking burn in a fire, and you can't go save anybody because you'll change history, and then the fucking hypocrite goes and saves the little kid anyways, so he doesn't really believe it's bullshit. The viewer doesn't believe it's bullshit. Just stop putting time travel on shows, guys. So,
Alright.
what did you think of this?
I thought it was okay, but like, some of the things that Akuma said I agree with. I think it's a light pass.
A light pass?
Well, you can just say you have a mixed opinion about it.
Yeah.
I guess, well...
Are you sticking with pass?
I was thinking I'll stick with one more episode, and if it doesn't like really captivate me, then I'm out.
Alright, I'm gonna say it pass, but you know, actually I take that back. I'll give it another episode too. I'll give it a mixed.
I say pass.
Alright, well, this one's already run on too long. Let's move on. I'd first off like to start this... I'd like to start off by saying that this show completely treats women like objects, and it should not be considered a decent anime by anyone who respects women in any way.
Disregarding
It
this
completely treats women in a very disrespectful way. And any man who has any self-respecting opinions on women should...
Hajimete no Garu.
The first gal.
She, the titular character, and I do mean
Yukana.
titular, my nigga.
Yukana.
She is not a high school student. Let's get this out of the way.
That's
She's
bills and taxes, my nigga. God damn.
This is grown, yo. What is a grown-ass woman doing in high school? You know what this series is for. Remember how earlier we were talking about the degenerate series where somebody just watching with one hand with their pants down, hand on the mouse, a hidden screenshot. This one is for us. This was made for the real niggas. This show.
I would like to say that I do not agree with their opinions, and that I truly respect women in the end, unlike these two who see women as nothing more than sexual objects and prizes and trophies to be won.
This is,
moving on from that bullshit opinion. Ooh, doggy, that's some titties, ain't they?
Oof. Well, we weren't even like. If you want to get as far as like titties go, there's another character which, by the way, this is a fucking harem series, in case you don't realize that by now. But yeah, the childhood friends titties don't even make sense.
What? Nobody even paid attention to that character at all, even slightly. What are you talking about? Who would even...
Opie Low. Yeah. You want to watch the series, this is a series you want to watch when you want to jerk off. Don't pretend anything else.
What are you talking about?
You care about the romance here. Don't, like, even the comedy is based around jerking off.
Like,
well,
there is quite literally a joke about the main character just fucking blowing his load. The censorship in the anime is a little too on point, I guess.
Right. If you're gonna watch this like as it's airing, you gotta be prepared for like some censorship that actually makes it look a lot lewder than it actually is.
Yeah. It definitely. It's one of those ones that's like fill in the blanks. Oh, but before we continue, since we're talking about this anime, I should talk about the controversy surrounding it.
There's a controversy?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna add this in because no.
Some guys could critique it instead.
No. This is just a funny something to bring it up. This is just a funny something to bring up. So I think it was in Akihabara. They were to promote the anime. There were a bunch of women who were hired by the company to go out and hand out, like, different pieces of memorabilia and whatever else, merchandise. One of the things that was handed out was, what's the word to say this properly? Blowjob masks.
What? Oh, you mean those
masks? It's masks that you wear, and they have the anime girl's face on it, and the girl puts it over her face, and it's supposed to cover it so that it only goes into the mouth.
First of all, giving that away in Akihabara,
and
if you're not a fucking gaijin, you're not gonna be using those.
And shots fired. Now, this is where the controversy comes in. Apparently, a lot of people sent a lot of very angry messages to Kodansha, I think, saying, "Oh, how could you possibly hand these out? This is demoralizing to women, etc."
Who cares? That's false controversy. Who gives a shit?
So what are you guys giving it?
I'm giving it a y'all nigga. It ain't none of y'all business if I keep watching this.
I would like to agree.
I would like to say that if you're gonna watch this, I would suggest waiting till the season's over and you get the Blu-rays, right? The uncensored Blu-rays, right? You get yourself a nice dark room with no people around,
Take a fucking bucket of lotion, my nigga. Be there for a while.
Alright, so now we've finished Action, Heroine, Cheer Fruits. I think that was what it was called. Alright, come on. Let's hear it. You guys are the Toku fans.
I mean, it's...
I'm a Toku fan. I'm not a fan of Toku fans.
Yeah, it's basically a show about somebody who watches a certain type of show. Or no, they watch one of those shows.
They watch one of the tokusatsu shows. I mean, it's the premise.
The main character, and at least seemed to be a big fan of all types, because you saw her room.
Well, it's hard to tell if those were enemies from the show that she watches, or like heroes from other shows.
The point is that like her little sister, her newly met friend, they're all fans of this show, which was like Kami Dio, which like, oh, I get it. You're like it's like a Kamen Rider show mixed with a magical girl show. I get it. I would actually like if that was like a real thing.
Well, I mean, no, continue on. Because, I mean, I'm listening to you guys more on this because you guys are much bigger into Toku than me.
Yeah, for the Tokusatsu fans, the cold open before the OP is just like you're watching her main character and her sister, and they're watching like this stage performance of the show, and it looks like, oh, So that's what this is going to be. It's going to be something like this. And then you see the opening, which is actually just, I think,
a show of fucking 1970, 1980.
right,
Opening.
the opening of this anime is the opening of their show of Kami Dio, which I think is interesting. It's a pretty clever touch. But then when you get into the meat and potatoes of this anime, you're just watching a Toku fan. And it's not like any Toku fan. It's not like watching some Otaku dude, right? In his late teens, early 20s. No, you're watching lolis. So, yeah, then they had some, panty shots. So, this might be for a certain demographic, but it's certainly not for me. It had some moments where I'm like, okay, I get it, because I'm a Toku fan, right? And this was made by Toku fans, but I don't think it's a show for me. Because, if anything, I would like something like that one episode of Akiba Ranger Season 2, where they go into the whole backstage production, and it's like a whole meta thing, and it's like super interesting. I like that concept. I like the concept they showed at the beginning of this episode, but I just don't like what they ended up doing.
So, I'm gonna be speaking of this totally from an outside perspective, just based on my love for anime, and I thought that was a very, very, very good first episode. I liked that. I thoroughly enjoyed that, almost to the level I enjoyed the first episode of Made in Abyss. I thought, aside from the animation being a little like around standard, maybe even a little lower, I thought that was actually very, very good. Thought it was actually very, very good first episode. It felt the number one thing is it felt sincere. It didn't feel like it was made by people who were paid to make an anime based around tokusatsu. It felt like it was made by people who actually like somewhat enjoy it. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, because when the show was at the ending, before the ending, or during the preview actually, they had the main character call out Kamen Rider Stronger's catchphrase.
Well, not just
which
that.
I noticed right away.
Not just that, but also
I know, not just that, but it's just like, yeah,
It didn't play. It
the
didn't
people
play.
know.
It didn't play. It didn't play like the tokusatsu as like, look, toku, look guys, it's toku.
Yeah.
It was like, no, it was more like, it felt like they were people who, like, they were into it. It didn't feel like they were making jokes about it being silly or it being dumb. It felt more like it was people who were like, yeah, tokusatsu, we enjoyed this. And it's like just the scenes of the characters, of the girls going out of their way to make this elaborate set and stuff, and them working their asses off in order to make it really good. It felt like it was people who really liked it. That's what I'm saying. Again, this is coming from an outside perspective. I've seen like maybe 3 tokusatsu, official tokusatsu stuff, not counting Power Rangers.
Well, like I said, I said this while we were watching. I can definitely appreciate where this anime is coming from. I'm just not a fan of it.
So, what's you guys' verdict? If you couldn't tell, I'm already very positive on it.
I mean, I'm probably not gonna watch it, especially if I'm watching it by myself. I'm probably not gonna watch it if y'all are like watching it.
Yeah,
But
I gotta give this a
I don't think
pass.
it's a bad show, and I'm gonna give it a pass.
It's just one of those things that's not very for everybody. But we'll keep moving on. Let's keep trucking along, guys.
I know.
Centaur no Naomi.
Translation for that is what?
I believe that translates directly to the normal day or average day in the life of Centaur John or something. Something similar to that. I forget the exact translation. It's just a slice of life. So, alright. I'll get this out of the way by saying that I thought it was a very good anime.
Well, I think that you might be in the minority in this little corner of the globe, because I thought it was complete dog shit.
So, all right. Well, let me get my shit out onto the table and say that I thought it was a good anime for the fact that, one, the world building in the anime is actually very, very detailed. Very detailed. Like you can tell that the writer was thinking this through. I mean, hell, there's the fact that the main heroine is a centaur, and part of her seat in class lets her lower back hind legs have a seat, while the front part of her legs have a seat as well.
I mean, if you know anything about horses, it's kind of silly, because horses don't need to lay down unless they're sleeping.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're not gonna. It's clear that the creator was thinking about all this world building. I mean, there's very specific part where they're like, "Oh, we are humans, but we've evolved in so many different ways as opposed to growing up with race. We grew up as species." So you have centaurs, succubi, I guess would be the proper one, and then you have nymphs and whatnot. So you have a bunch of very different creatures, and the whole thing, it seems to be focused on the average day of the Centaur-chan named Hime. My point is, I think that the world building in this is probably just considered great. I think it's great.
Oh my god. First of all, the world building is acceptable at best, right? But it's fucking squandered on a shit ass slice of life. It doesn't fucking matter, because all you really get to see is just some fucking Ugu half-breed bitches fucking, oh, well, I'm not a lesbian, but I'll kiss my friend on the fucking lips. Oh.
Deja vu. Wow.
So they also put the opening in the middle of it, and it stopped feeling it very obvious if you watch this OP that the creator and the writer of this probably didn't have any input on what was going on in that opening, because that was some serious cheesecake up in there.
I'm disgusted that you say cheesecake, because I can only remember like the fucking snake girl, and also of course Hime with her fucking horse bikini bottom. Yo, this show, I'm not a fan. If you know Super Incognito, you know that I'm not a fan of like slice of life generally. I think it's boring. It's like Japanese sitcoms where there's no comedy. I don't like, really. I like series that can do that and also do something else. And this one is just, two halves, like an old cartoon. They have one 11-minute section and another 11-minute section after the commercial break. The fact of the matter is, I don't even find the characters interesting. Like the Centaur's identifying personality trait is that she's a centaur.
Well, no,
and then she has a possibly lesbian friend and another friend who's just lazy. And that's gonna be the dynamic. That's gonna be the trio until they introduce more characters, I suppose.
Well, no, I'd say Hime has a more defined character than the other two.
I couldn't see it in the first episode. I could not see it. I thought the other characters were more like she's somewhat insecure. I guess that's part of her personality, because she's like, oh man, I'm so heavy, I'm a fucking horse. But
that and the fact that she's like, oh well, I'm not actually good at sports. I'm just big, and I'm not even that big for a centaur.
You know what? Both of those things have to do with her being a centaur. I think her insecurity and also her inadequacy are both because she's a centaur and not necessarily because of her personality. But
I wouldn't agree on that.
I think y'all niggas are getting a little too technical
because the world is built really well, and it's explaining all of this, how it's made around the fact that there are all these monster people.
Okay, but
well, since you mentioned that, I would like to commend this anime, the first episode at least, for one really, really subtle thing, where they were like, could you imagine? Because like in their world, monster people are the humans. They just refer to themselves as Ningen or whatever, and they're like, could you imagine if the four-armed, which are normal humans, people were the majority? Then there would surely be no discrimination. And they just have a picture of a white dude standing next to a black dude, and I'm like, that's subtle. That's real subtle.
Yes, the idea. I said it. I'm serious when I say that I think that the world building in this needs to be looked at, because it's really fucking good.
It doesn't matter how. Yeah, I think it's wasted. All right, you gonna stop talking over me? I ain't gonna talk that much during this fucking first impression. Y'all gonna listen to me today.
Well, too bad. We're running out of time, so we don't have time to listen to you. Now, tell me your opinions. I say definitely keep watching.
Well, I think that matters, so I'm not gonna say it.
Then I will say for Hawkeyes are the final brave.
Well, no, pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on this too. It's not that I couldn't get into it. I'm sure if I was fucking strapped to a chair and fucking had an IV drip hooked into me and I watched all of it in a burst, like, I'm not gonna watch this shit weekly. There's no way in hell I would ever watch this shit weekly, but I'm gonna say pass. Light pass on this.
Let's keep going. More anime, yeah!
Trash.
This is starting to make me start to hate anime. Last couple episodes that we watched. These have been kind of depressing and shitty.
Gamers. Such a gamer, XDDDD.
Only gamers will get this.
I should just put a picture of Aisha Tyler up over the fucking video, shouldn't I?
I mean, if you can scrounge the resources.
It shouldn't actually be that hard. I mean, I got a folder. I mean,
So let's talk about this anime. Let's talk about how we felt about this anime.
Okay. Well, let's. What to say about us gamers, right? What can you say about us gamers?
Well, let me point out things that actually made me smile and appreciate.
Let me get this out of the way. So, art style's pretty generic, but the animation is, I'd say, at least decent. Not great, not good, decent.
I like the spoofs. Well, I can't say that only this anime does it or anything, but I really appreciate when something parodies real life. The only problem I have with the fake PS4 or the PZ4 in this case covers and stuff is some of them you could tell exactly what they were making fun of, but I noticed they were in that game store. They were like a big ass PS4 roll where I'm like, shouldn't that all be Bloodborne?
Says the person with no fucking next gen
console. Shut the fuck up.
Anyway,
I got a PC. I'm a PC gamer, and they didn't appeal to me.
What are you talking about? They did. When they showed Gakuto, he was a PC gamer, and he was the coolest character.
He was playing the original Counter-Strike, too. This nigga had the fucking APM of 5, yo. This nigga going in on fucking bots holding still, yo.
Alright. Let me climb up on this. Hang on. Come here, horse. I need to climb up on you. Man, you're awfully high up. Now, let me be straight up on this. Shut the fuck up. Let me be straight up on this, alright?
Awful.
This is a series about a bunch of kids in high school, and they're in a video game club. It's an anime, right? You're supposed to give these a little bit of leeway, but come the fuck on. You're not gonna have this random, pretty, blonde-haired, green-eyed Japanese girl, which apparently they make those now, I didn't know that, just suddenly come out and be like, I want to play video games.
Pause, nigga. You was saying now? Oh, get that ass banned, nigga.
Okay, here's the point. I'm gonna jump up. I'm gonna get that ladder, climb up there on the fucking high horse with them. They made a point to show a minor character who is a Japanese girl, and she had pink hair, but they made a point of showing the top of her hair. Her roots were brown, meaning that she dyed her hair. But later on, the main heroine and another supporting character was just this autistic redhead
who likes fighting.
Their hair is just yellow and red, and there's no explanation.
I get it, okay? It's an anime. We're putting too much thought into it. But to be honest, when I originally saw this, right, I was expecting it to just be fucking shitty lol random memes, but it started seeming like, oh, this seems a little more like grounded, a little more understanding of reality. And then I keep hearing things throughout the series that keep making me turn my head and go, what? Gakuto's dad was apparently some type of soldier, a mercenary. That one kid, Misumi, I think his name was, he was like in a coma or has amnesia, and all he remembers how to do is play puzzle games. And then there's this one girl.
They're chuny as fuck.
I think they're probably just chuny.
I hope so. I really hope so.
That one girl was sitting in the corner playing Guilty Gear for hours on end, the same stage with the same character. Ooh.
Well,
it's training mode. That's an 11, yeah.
See,
that wasn't training mode.
See, Hawkeiser said that, and at first I was like, that makes too much sense. That makes way too much credit. Yeah, that's giving you giving them way too much credit.
I want to believe.
There's a lot of other things to say. It's just, I don't know how I feel about all the blatant video game imagery.
Well, there is one redeeming quality to this anime. I actually believe it's the main character, what's his name, Keita Amano. Yeah. He is a complete spur. He is
absolute spazoid.
Oh man, I'm considering giving this a fucking keep watching rating just so I can see his descent, because like he has a mentality where he's like, oh, I don't want to join the club because I don't like playing games competitively. I just like playing for fun. And they showed that like he sucks when they were playing the Call of Duty clone that they couldn't show gameplay of. But yeah, and he plays a fucking mobile game, mobile garbage, which he fucking embarrasses. Like he does some really spurgy shit, yo. Instead of grabbing the girl's hand, he's just like, oh no, gotta click refresh, gotta add 20 cents back into this mobile game.
Nah, he had to accept the invitation from his friend.
So what are you both saying?
I'm gonna say keep watching, just cause I think that I might be mind broken from yesterday. Whenever we watched the last batch of anime
session,
so this just seems much better by comparison, since it's not trash.
Yeah, like I give this a keep watching too. Like fuck, I just decided just now. I'm
actually gonna leave it with a mixed, because it has very, very high potential to fucking ride off the deep end. Like, it has so much potential to get bad.
Are you one of those Gamergate creeps?
I feel like I have a fever dream after that one.
Good.
I feel like I'm in an actual dream after that one. A lot of whimsical shit going on.
It felt like Alice in Wonderland. Like, it felt very much like that.
Very inspired, which seems to be a theme this year. So we just watched 18F, which is based on a manga of a different name, which is weird, but, you know.
So, let me just read off my notes. What the fuck? That was at the opening. What the fuck? That was at the visuals.
The opening was very, like, I didn't even realize that was the opening. I thought it was just, like, some scene, but then, like, the music picked up and the credits started showing up, and I'm like, oh, this is the opening. Okay.
It seems like the opening was actually done by some people who did a few of the songs in Panty and Stocking. Teddy Lloyd, or Teddy Lord, however you pronounce that. It looks like they were the one who did the openings, and their openings are always pretty good. You know?
So, our main character, well, let's talk about before we even meet our main character. At first I thought this was like, oh, this must be set in the internet, right? Because the first character you see is like the antagonist of this episode is yet another episodic series, which this season seems to be very fond of. She's the Thunder Witch, right? Or something like that.
That's what
and
she
has
was calling
like
herself, yeah.
she has an X and B around her, and she's like, I was like, oh, this is the internet, but now it's just a dream world, which we learned from another character, the cat guy.
Catman, Kazumi, or I think his name was Kazumi.
Right.
So, there's just so much going on in the backgrounds and whatnot in this anime, and lots of very, very bright colors and stuff. The animation's actually not really good, but they do a lot of really weird tricks with it, like picture in picture and picture in picture and stuff like that. And it's probably the only show I've seen that can get away with a beheading in an anime. Like,
yeah,
on-screen
there's
beheading.
some creative animation things here, even if it's not, even like, I think they make up for their standard animation not being very good, but just having all these creative ideas.
Yeah, I don't really know what to exactly say. Oh, I know what I can say for sure. Man, do they not know how to match music with tone?
Oh, definitely. This anime is basically unfitting music, the anime.
Yeah, there's like really relaxed and like chill jazz playing during a fight scene. Then there's like super happy fun time music playing at like a death scene and stuff, and it's like, ooh, the music director for it needs to be fired, plain and simple.
Well, no. Maybe that was the intention, because you know how dreams don't make sense, right? So maybe the OST doesn't have to make sense with the visuals.
Hey, when it comes to this anime, I can full on say that I feel like maybe it was smarter than I think it is, because when a lot of it just was going over my head in general.
So yet again, we have a main character here, Haruto, who has a weird, see, this is a big thing about whether or not I find a series interesting is if I find the protagonist interesting. And this guy, by nature of like really being sort of just there, like he doesn't really care. He's like deluded himself into thinking there's zero sense of danger or urgency because he's like, hey, it's just a dream, so I don't give a fuck. And I actually kind of like that from Haruto, so.
Well, we'll see if he gets like more developed, because it seems like it's gonna be like Felix said, episodic. I don't know what else to really bring... Oh, I know what to bring up. The fact that the main villain for this first episode, I did not understand how the bullying was working. I actually just didn't understand how it worked.
Well, it was the option select. Like I mentioned, it was like they were bullying her expecting one reaction, but since she gave a different reaction than what they were expecting, they just like, oh man, I'm calling off the bullying. And then they started making fun of her, which, I don't know, seems like a catch-22 to me.
Yeah, so I'll just straight out say it. I give this a very mixed review. I have no idea what to think about this as of now. I will watch another one, but it's just that is very mixed.
Well, I'm positive on this one actually. Surprisingly, like usually I'm the one who's gonna be the negative Nancy, but I actually I want to get this. Keep watching because I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
And you, Hawkeyser?
I wouldn't know if they have to drink to be able to see the benefits.
So Hawkeyser is clearly into this anime as well, as he spends a lot of time in the dream world.
Yeah, just visiting it a minute ago. Let's dream about a better anime. No, that didn't work. All right, moving on. Vatican Kiseki Chosaken. I believe that's how to properly pronounce it.
Alright, before we begin, I'd like to talk about, like, have y'all ever seen, Law and Order Special Victims Unit?
Have you ever seen Supernatural?
Those were pretty good shows, but, like, Supernatural went on for way too long, you know?
Just so everybody knows, we're simulating exactly what was going on while we were watching this anime, because we just got more distracted and far more interested talking about Special Victims Unit.
Alright, this is a first impressions video, right? It's fair to say that this anime left no impression on us whatsoever, because we literally got distracted while watching it and talked about other shit that was way, way more interesting. And it's not that, and the worst part about that is, while we were talking shit about fucking Special Victims Unit and Supernatural and all this other stuff, somehow we were still able to follow along with the plot. It's just that fucking meandering and predictable
and uninteresting and boring.
You don't even have to pay attention to know what's happening. So, if you see the summary of this video, and we got it on screen right now, I don't think that does this justice whatsoever, because this is just like the most uninspired schlock. Our main character, Joseph has a Japanese name.
Hiragi.
Yeah, he has a Japanese last name, but he's got a Western first name, and he lives in the Vatican, and he has his friend,
Roberto.
the secondary character. Roberto Nicholas. Right? He has two first names because Japan loves doing that. Just, I gotta give somebody a Western name, just give him two first names. But he's going on. He has a little brother who's sick. He has bone cancer, which I was actually surprised that they used the word cancer.
Yeah, it's so rare for people to actually say like cancer. I mean, the idea is when you're in Japan, if a person has cancer, like it's immediately considered that you're going to die. 100%. No, there's no survival rate. You're going to die.
Yeah, so this is all you need to know about the main character. He has a little brother who is sick, who is Japanese. He's extremely smart. He's playing a fucking a board game that he created, and he's like, it's only natural for me to see 300 moves in advance. Fuck off. And he's most likely a demon.
Most likely, because they hint at it first episode, but it's like, whatever.
Yeah, it's obvious.
So, a few other things to mention. the animation is almost non-existent throughout the whole anime.
Well, speaking of the animation, like it really reminds me of just like those animes from like 2000, pre-2005, like 2000 to 2005.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the shit that you would see on like 4 a.m. on like Adult Swim or something.
Or the ones
like,
that you could
anime select.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. You come across a random anime on Anime Selects, and you just want to. You have nothing else to do.
This anime really reminded me of Shizuka. But
There's not
as
really...
far as the plot goes,
Oh, and then there was that one really. There was that one really weird part where the nun was eating a sausage,
right?
and it was like very, very weirdly detailed. And
Should I point out how this is like most of the cast in the opening seem to be male, and this one nun female character appears to be a villain. So, what does that say? Is this for Joji bait? Possibly.
most
Probably.
most likely. Yeah, but and they had the Lancelonginus for just out of nowhere.
Oh no! Oh, they had the fucking the tip of the Lancelonginus looked like a fucking. It was anime as fuck.
And it was huge.
It didn't make any sense. It was like, no Roman soldier is carrying this around. That you can't convince me, anime. They had like a baby with 3 eyes. They had a virgin who was pregnant.
It was like a bug.
It was like a fucking nerd with glasses. You see all these story beats that are coming up, and I don't know. If you're into this, man, you do you. But as for me, as for us, I don't think any of us care.
Nah.
Like, this concept has been done before, and it's been done better, so.
So
we're or pass.
Same here.
Pass.
Fucking buy better animation. Let's continue along. Now we just watched Princess Principal. Princess Principal, I think? That was the name?
Yep. Princess Principal. And, apparently I think that title might be referencing one of the characters.
Pretty directly, it would seem yes. Well, and I want to start off by saying I thought it was good.
Alright, it's nothing I'm dying to see, but it wasn't terribly bad. Just aside from the, I think the character designs for like the main characters are just kind of lame. They all have like these huge heads and like, little bodies, but like all of the other characters look like regular people.
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
that's kind of weird. And like, if you say, well, maybe that's just how the studio draws girls, I guess. Not the women were normal size, but the main characters and the other little girls who were in the show are like fucking dwarves.
Well, just from watching it, and you can check the actual synopsis over to the side. It seems like what's the way I want to put this? It seems like somebody like took half the script of K-On! And fused it with like half the script of Bakano.
Don't disrespect Bacano like that.
Don't disrespect K. No, I'm lying.
Because I'm talking about the setting and the music and just overall animation.
I think the music, as far as the music goes, I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
Actually,
But-
even the fucking English in the opening and the ending songs.
Yeah, but again, we're kind of biased because we're like marks for that kind of music.
Visually, I think it looked pretty nice, even though like the color palette, it's really
Well, it's like
a lot of dark browns and gray at night.
Well, for that kind of setting, you can only really use like dark brown, dark gray, dark blue. It's kind of to be expected. It's not like it's a fantastical fantasy world. But speaking of that, I do want to say that the animations are pretty detailed. Look really nice.
it's not a fantastical fantasy world, but they seem to have some. I don't know. They haven't explained it so far in the first episode. Like some magic tech bullshit.
And they only
Not
really
quite
used
steampunk.
Yeah.
it. Well, no, I think
They
it's
got like those little grenades that were like made out of like fucking train parts and shit moving around. It didn't make any sense.
yeah. But they only really used it like twice throughout the entire first episode, even because the one girl, Anjay, the main character, used it to fly, and then the smaller one, Chise, used it as used one for a flash grenade. So,
And well, let's just briefly let's talk about the main character, Anjay or Anji, however you want to pronounce it. It's kind of a sociopath,
it's not really.
which I understand you have to be if you're going to be like a spy in a post-war scenario. But like, she's pretty ruthless. Her kill count is, as of the first episode, 2 people. But the way she takes them out is savage.
Well, it's hinted that she does have a lot going on behind the gauze of being a killer and whatnot. It's not. I honestly felt that I felt it kind of dropped the ball closer to the end because she didn't kill the main guy for this one little first episode sister, which was nice. But it's still, I feel it dropped the ball a little bit. It didn't really make her feel like a totally good person. Just a good person doing bad things.
I don't think she's supposed to. I think that's the intent. They try to play it off like, oh, you're a good person because she spared the sister, but really she didn't need to kill the sister. So what she did was just, I don't know, you can say what your line of work is, especially considering the guy betrayed her, but whatever.
All in all, I think it's pretty interesting. There's among all the characters, Anjay, the one little ninja girl Chise, and the one who seems to be the oldest, the one who drives the car, seems interesting. There's the one who just does weird voices, and then there's
I think the one who drives the car is Princess. So
no, she's not Princess. I think Princess is the blonde one.
Well, we'll see.
All in all,
I'll keep watching the series personally.
I want to say one more thing. I think it actually has pretty decent animation too, like all around.
The animation, well, aside from the CG cars.
Aside from the CG cars.
We'll never escape the CGI.
We'll never escape CG cars, especially CG cars for some reason. But you said it's good for you, right, Felix?
Yeah.
So that means a pass. You want to keep watching?
Keep watching.
All right. I'd definitely keep watching it. I thought it was very good, very solid. Not incredible, but solid.
I'd give it a pass. I'm not really terribly interested in it.
All right. Continuing on. Let's keep moving, guys. So we just got done watching Kuzu no Honkai, Second Route, Alternate Edition, EX Hanabi, Revelations.
Fucking universe, Scum's Wish. Ah, man. This anime.
I like the concept.
The concept had me rolling, yo.
But mostly because they just openly acknowledge, yeah, the Japanese just aren't fucking.
The Japanese have a birth rate problem, so the government forced young people to get married, and then it worked.
Yeah, fucking, it's really weird. So, all right, let's talk about this MC Nejima Takashi or something like that. Was his last name? I forget.
Typical beta cuck. Fucking.
No, he's not. He's atypical.
Yes, he did. No, he did not.
As in autistic, but yeah, go on.
He's like just, the typical. I'm so. And that's my description of the character.
Wow.
it's typical at all. I think his actions are way different than the normal romance protagonist. He actually confessed to the girl he likes in the first episode, and she actually reciprocated the feelings.
I know, and then after he confessed to her, he fucking was able to use her gigantic eyeballs to get a full body image of himself, and then he dressed himself up real nice.
But our style of this anime looks really good, except for the faces, because the eyes are fucking entirely too huge.
They are like, everybody says in anime, oh, the characters' eyes are too big, they're not proportionate with their head. This one, whew, man.
So what we need to do is take the eyes from this, take the necks from Ballroom,
take the heads from Princess Principal.
Yeah. We're
take the bodies from take the bodies of Captain America from Marvel Infinite.
Let's not get off track too much. But yeah, and as far as the OST, the opening and the ending music and the musical tracks they had throughout the episode, I can't say were very memorable. Like, actually, no. The opening I really liked. These guys hated it, but I really liked it.
I didn't hate the opening. I didn't even, I actually kind of liked the ending, even though you could really only hear it underneath the sound effects of the ending. But one of the things, this anime, I'm just gonna flat out say it left a very bad taste in my mouth, because, whoo, man.
I think it's one of those series where it seems convenient. Like I said this is dangerously close to becoming an NTR anime, and it might still, it might become a Nettori anime, actually.
We already know that's your favorite genre.
Shut the fuck up.
It's just, there was way too many things that were either just, maybe it's the fact that it's just the first episode, and they're setting up a lot of stuff, and it's all just set up, but there's just way too much that happened, and it was like, wow, that's convenient, well, that's convenient, that's really convenient, wow, that is convenient.
What do you mean? Aside from her liking him, too.
The fact that she liked him, and that she kept the little eraser, too. And first off, I want to point out the fact that he ripped apart that eraser, and it looked like he was ripping apart a marshmallow.
Yeah, I mean, either he's got nigga got some strong ass hands for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like when I was a kid, you had to in order to get them erasers apart, you basically had to take a sword to that thing in order to get them apart.
Or it must be due to the superior genetics of the fucking repopulation plan they put in place.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Just the fact that they would point that out, it's kind of like it's poking fun at Japan itself. But
to be honest, can I be honest here? Like, the premise itself, I've read at least 5 times in fucking hentai. So I've read things similar to this in other mangas and whatnot. I don't know where it's going, because the title of the series is Love and Lies. So maybe this is going to be a lot deeper. I will say, this is going to be my point of it. I'm going to say I want to keep watching. Mostly because I'm interested. It did not leave a good first impression on me, but I do want to keep watching. Well, the thing about the title is, it might be they kind of had the girl, I forget what her actual name was, because we kept calling her Hanabi.
Because she just looks like Hanabi.
She lied for no reason, and you're just like, huh, why did she do that? And then the title of the next episode preview is a small lie. So maybe it's just going to be one of those things where it just gets out of control with dishonesty and stuff. But as for me, yeah, I'm interested in this. I don't know why. We're at odds again, but I want to keep watching it.
I mean, I'm giving this a soft pass. Like, I won't watch it on my own because the premise doesn't really interest me. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be a bad show, but it seems like it's gonna be one that's gonna make me mad.
Probably with the ending, yeah. I especially considering the fact that I do know that the manga currently is still ongoing and it's at like chapter 100.
Oh shit.
That's trash.
Well, it can't make me as mad as Scum's Wish because I fucking we suffered through that, and then the ending wasn't even like satisfying. Whatever. Don't make me think of that anymore.
Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you have something you want to say, leave a comment down below or hit us up on social media. Again, thanks for watching.